Hi guys, so today I'm just taking a slightly different route back home. I'm gonna go through all the rice fields just because it's so pretty, so ricey, so inaka. Yeah, I live in this, well, I commute to this area. It's just very flat, very wide open, so you know, it just feels great to ride. It's got that really wide open feeling, but aren't many twisty roads. Anyways, today I wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm not Japanese. I am Japanese. I look Japanese. My name is Japanese. I have a Japanese name. My passport, you know, and everything, my nationality, I'm Japanese, but there are many ways that I'm very different. I'm not Japanese, so I want to talk a little bit about how I'm not Japanese today. Okay, so one of the ways I'm not Japanese is how summer vacation is really important to me. Summer vacation. I know a lot of people who work at regular jobs in Japan. They get maybe, you know, maybe a week off, but in the summer. But for me, it's important that I get about a month off. I don't know, it's also my work that allows for that. It's kind of, you know, plus minus, because when I'm not working, you know, I don't get paid, but for me it's important that I get that time with my family, that I vacation, and we do summer vacations. We do summer vacations well. We go camping, we go road tripping, we do, you know, we camp by the river, we camp by a lake, we camp, you know, we go to the amusement parks and the water parks, and we do summer vacation as a family, and for me that's really important. But for now, when they're at this age, you know, it's a precious time. They're going to be teenagers, you know, they're not going to want to spend time with me. They might be wanting to go off with their friends and stuff, so this time that I have with them at this age is just so priceless. It's so important that I get that time with them, that you probably couldn't pay me enough to not take summer vacation. I mean, summer vacation is important, you know, I gotta have that time, and it's important that we do all those things and have those experiences. It's not like we spend a ton of money on summer vacation either. I mean, we do spend some. We do budget, you know, we do budget friendly stuff, but there are ways to have a blast and just really, you know, live it up on a budget. So that's kind of one way where I'm not very Japanese. I talk to my Japanese friends, what, you get that much time off, you know, or you take that much time, how can you afford that, how can you do that, you know? And for me it's like, oh, it's normal, you know, when summer comes around, we do summer. So that's one way I'm not Japanese. Like, Japanese will be very, you know, work comes first, company comes first, and, you know, all that sort of stuff. Let's see, maybe do a little bit of dirt roads here too. And so that's one way. I don't know how it is for you guys. Any of you guys from the States or Australia or any other countries living here in Japan? How important is summer vacation for you? How important was it for you as a kid growing up? I know, just for me, it was important that I got that time, that, you know, summer was fun. We did a lot of camping and road tripping and stuff growing up, so for me that's important that I do that with my kids. Okay, another way that I'm not Japanese is the other day I had a friend over, I guess a new friend. I had only met him once before, And we follow each other on Instagram and on YouTube, and he actually has some videos up. His channel's down right now, so I don't know, I won't. Maybe I'll do a shout out for him later, but anyways, I invited him over. Hey, why don't you come over for dinner? And he's not Japanese, but he felt so, I don't know. He wasn't sure if he could come over. Like, was that for real? Like, am I really inviting him over? Is it okay? We've only met once before. Where am I? Look like I'm really coming up to somebody's farm. Yeah, is it okay? You know, like, what about your family? Are they okay? They've never met me before. Is it okay that I just come over? And I told him, look, in that way, I'm not Japanese. And my family is very non-Japanese in that way. You know, if we invite you for dinner, just come on over, and don't think you need to bring a gift, or food, or, whatever, any kind of thing that Japanese people usually do. When they come over and they bring over some nice snacks or something to serve, or something like that, and they say, this is really nothing, this is nothing, please take our humble gift, when actually it probably did cost a pretty, a pretty penny. What is that? Do people even say pretty penny anymore? Where did I pick that up? When it probably cost them a little bit of money. It wasn't just cheap. It was actually a nice little snack thing that they're bringing over. So, but for me, when I invite somebody over, it really means, hey, just come on over. No strings attached. And you don't need to bring a gift, or you don't need to come all fancy. Just come on over. Just show up. It's interesting because I've seen other people who have been in Japan for a long time, Americans, Canadians, other people who are very, very Japanese in their mannerisms, and they almost forget how to be a foreigner. They almost forget how to interact as, without all the Japanese customs and rules and kind of mannerisms. And if you invite me over to your house, I might just actually show up. Because in Japan, they'll often say, oh, 遊びに来てください. Please come on over sometime and hang out. But then there's protocol, and there's a lot of ceremony involved. Not all the time, but there can be, so anywho, I really don't know. I'm just circling around. I know I'm going in the generally the right direction. Another thing that we do as a family, which is also quite non-Japanese, is that we make a big deal about birthdays, and we celebrate birthdays. In fact, this is sort of a family tradition that I sort of started with my family, and it's that we have birth week. I think I picked this up from a book that I read once before, but we make a big deal out of the birthday, and the person who's celebrating having their birthday gets to do special things. So we do special things for them throughout the week. So like recently my wife had her birthday, and I took her to a burger restaurant because she wanted to eat cool burgers. I mean, how cool is that? My wife loves burgers, so I get to go and eat guy food and hamburgers and stuff on her birthday. Anyways, after we also went to the hub. We had some drinks there. Went to a little sidewalk, a little restaurant, Italian restaurant, had drinks there. We had a special dinner, the boys and I, my sons and I, we made, kind of a fun dinner for my wife, and we celebrated it as a family. And we did different presents, and things like that. So, you know, for us, and also for each of my sons too, for each of my boys, we kind of make it a special deal, and they know, they look forward to that birth week throughout the whole year. They know that they're going to get special treatment that day. Now, how is that different from Japan? Japan, like most people, you ask them, you know, what if they do anything on their birthdays, like, no, nothing. You know, maybe they'll get a cake, you know, a little cake. It's not, birthdays traditionally are not a big deal in Japan. Now, I think that's slowly changing. I think they are starting to make a bigger deal out of birthdays and things like that for in some families, but traditionally birthdays was never a big deal in Japan. And I think it's, yeah, you know, other cultures, I know in the States, you know, it's like, oh, you invite your whole class, all your kids' friends over to the house for a big birthday party, or you know, things like that. We'll often have friends over at at our house. We'll have them sleeping over, staying the night, you know, or we'll just go over for dinner, have dinner with friends. All our kids will be playing together and things like that. And so in that way, I'm also very non-Japanese. Now, there are some ways that I am very Japanese. Like I've gotten accustomed to, well, you know, like for example, Japanese manners and kind of Japanese people are very polite and they're very thoughtful. They think about what you might need, and that is why when they speak in Japanese, they often don't complete their sentence, because if you have good manners, you're supposed to know what they're going to say. You're supposed to be able to complete their sentence for them. For, you know, I don't know how, if there's an example I can come up with right now, but like, for example, like if somebody wants to decline, you know, a request or something like that, ちょっと難しいんですけど, you know, it's a little bit difficult for me because, and then you're supposed to get the point and say, わかります、わかります, I understand, I understand. 最近忙しいですよね, or, you know, you must be really busy recently, or whatever, and complete their thought for them and make it easy for them to back out. Anyway, so like there are certain Japanese things and Japanese standards that I am used to, and that I kind of, in that way, I'm very Japanese. If people don't have those kind of manners in Japan, especially, you know, then it's kind of like, oh, okay, you know, you don't get it yet, kind of thing. Of course, I know people who just come to Japan, they're like, I'm not expecting them to understand that, but at the same time, for people who live in Japan, I sort of expect that they have those rules and manners and things like that down, you know, to a degree. So in that way, I am Japanese. I look Japanese, I am Japanese, but inside my head, I'm really not Japanese in many ways. Just the way that I was raised, my experiences, you know, we're the sum of our experiences, right? I'm Japanese, but I don't speak like a Japanese. My English is better than my Japanese. The way that I think is often not like Japanese, and so I'm a bit of an anomaly here. I think there are other people like me, and it's called being a third culture kid, growing up as a third culture kid, and I think I'll probably talk about that a bit more next time. Basically, what that means is a lot of expats or people who have grown abroad. Like for example, if I went to the States, people would look at me as a Japanese, or if I went to, you know, some other English-speaking country, they would look at me as Japanese. I wouldn't be from their country. And then being here in Japan, at first glance, I look like Japanese and stuff like that, but once you get to know me and once you talk with me a bit, you know, hey, this guy's not really Japanese. I'm on, you know, they'll be on to me. They could tell by speaking to me, or, you know, the experiences of the way that I think that, hey, you're not really Japanese. So I'm neither American, you know, Western, or, you know, Canadian, whatever. You know, I'm not American, I'm not Japanese, I'm third culture. And so, wow, look at that, guys. That is just awesome. Anyways, I'll talk more about that next time. let me know what you have, any thoughts you might have on this topic. You know, maybe some of you guys are third culture too, or grew up in a third culture. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk more next time.